Hello, everyone. So, welcome to Enthusiastic Live Session, right? So, I'm your host today, and my name is Ashpreet. So, let me tell you something about myself. So, I have been teaching students, I have been into teaching line from last 9 years right now. Yeah, it's been more than 9 years. Yes. And I did my graduation in BSc Mathematics Honors. Yes. And I have been teaching students from all over the world. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So in today's live session, I'm going to cover the topic of linear equation in two variables, right? So as you guys already know that what do we mean by the word linear equation and the same thing we have already covered in one of our live session, right? Linear equation in two variables, right? So let me give you the preview of what we have covered in our last Facebook session, right? So that you can remember. Right. In the last class, we have covered about the part of linear equation, right? And with the linear equation, we mean equation means a thing that has equals to sign with variables and numbers like this. There is an equals to sign, there are numbers, and there is variable as well. So, and the highest power of the variable should be one, right? So this is what we mean by linear equation, right? Or we can simply call it as linear equation, and we can see only one variable. So in one variable, right? You can call it as linear equation only, and you can call it as linear equation in one variable. Both will means the same thing, right? So now with this logic, if I go and cover the topic of linear equation in two variables, so as the name suggests, that what do we mean by the word linear equation in two variable is basically there will be the linear equation, and we know that the equation must have an equals to sign with some numbers, right? And it says that it will have two variable. We already have one variable. You can add another variable here as well, right? It can be like this, or it can be like this one as well. 2a plus 3b equals to 9, right? It can be like x minus m equals to 8, right? It can be like 4n minus 15 of y equals to 0, right? So the word linear equation means there must be equals to sign, and you can see equals to sign in every part, in every example, right? And here you can see that in this we have two variables, x and y. We have two variables here as a and b, and here we have two variables as x and m and n and y in this one, right? And all of them are having the maximum power of 1. So we can give it a name, linear. So it will be linear. It was already an equation. So linear equation, and we can see two variables. So it will be linear equation in two variables, right? Yeah. So that is how you can differentiate between linear equation and linear equation in two variables, right? Okay, so let's go to the next part. Now, in the last session, we have covered the part like if we have to solve the linear equation, suppose that it is 4x minus 9 equals to 7, right? So if we need to solve 4x minus 9 equals to 7, what we need to do is we need to make x alone on one side. For that, we have to remove this 9. And for the same thing, to remove the 9, we have to add 9 on both the sides. See, it is the equation. So whatever you do on the one side, the same thing we have to do on the other side as well, right? To maintain the balance of the equation, right? Because we cannot change the question. This step we have been doing on our own, right? This plus 9, right? And we cannot change the question because the question says 4x minus 9 equals to 7. So for the same case, what we did, we whatever we do it on both the sides so that the balance of the question remains the same, right? So it will be 4x is equals to 16. Now we have to do the same thing. We have to make x alone. And for making x alone, we have to divide both sides with 4. As 4 is being multiplied with x, so we should divide both sides with 4, right? So it will be x is equals to 4. That is our answer. Solving means we have to find out the value of the unknown in the equation. And the unknown is basically a variable only, right? So this is already simple, right? And if we can say that we have already learned. So we call it as the solution, right? We can name it as solution of the given equation. We can call it as root of the given equation, right? So whatever you can call it. There are two words you will see in your books. Either it will be a solution or it will be a root. The question will come to you like, find the root of the equation. So root basically means you need to solve it. They are just using the different term over there, right? That's perfect. Now, suppose that the question says you have to solve it on a number line, right? So how can we do it on the number line? That's the main question. So for that, let me make the number line first for you guys, right? This is the number line. And if I draw, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, right? So this will be the number line that we can make. And what's the solution that is coming out to be? 4. So what we can do is we can mark this. So this is our root, right? Or solution of the given. See how simple it is to plot it on the number line, right? Right? Okay, that is perfect. Now, but we have to, now let me tell you something special about linear equation in two variables. Why we are learning about that? What is a special thing that it became a different topic apart from linear equation, right? We can cover this part in the linear equation only. But why we are learning it separately? Why there is a separate topic for it? Because in this linear equation in two variables, we have to take care of the few things, right? The first part is the standard form of an equation. We call it a standard or reduced form of an equation, right? So for this part, it will say that the reduced form will always be ax plus by plus c equals to 0. And let me tell you that where a, comma b, and c are integers. Basically, they belongs to the integer set. This means belongs to, and this set means integers, collection of all the integers, right? Yes. And x and y are variables here because we are talking about two variables. So this is the standard form of writing it. Let me show you how we can do it, right? Suppose that the equation is given to be 2x plus 4y minus 8 equals to 6, right? If we are going to compare it with this form, it is not right because on the right side, we can see a 0, right? So we will start it by that step only. What we can do to make right side 0, we have to subtract 6 from both the sides, right? As it is an equation, so whatever you do on the right side, you have to do the same thing on the left side as well, right? So it will be 2x plus 4y minus 8 minus 6 equals to 6 minus 6, right? So it will be 2x plus 4y minus 14 equals to 0. Yes? See, you have converted it like ax plus by plus c equals to 0, where you can see a as 2, right? You can see a as 2, b as 4, and c as minus 14. You have to consider the sign with them, okay? And what else we can do? I have written on the top that is the standard or the reduced form, where reduced means it cannot be reducible more, right? There is nothing common in that, right? But here we can see that the number 2 is coming out to be a common number with every term. So we can write it like 2x plus 2y minus 7 equals to 0, right? So it will be x plus 2y minus 7 equals to 0. You can divide both sides with 2, right? So this will, x plus 2y minus 7 will remain same, and 0 divided by 2 will be 0. So we call this one as standard or the reduced form, right? What we call this one as standard or reduced form, right? But we will not call this one as the standard or reduced form. It is looking like the standard form only, but you have to reduce it to the fullest, right? If there is something coming out to be a common, something coming out to be common, that you need to take common. And then we can call it as the standard form. And this is a special thing about linear equation in two variables. There is a standard way, there is something specific way of representing it. Is it clear? Okay. Now let me take the example as, and here we can see that A is coming out to be 1, B is coming out to be 2, and C is coming out to be minus 7. You have to consider the sign with them. Now let's see the another question, which will say you have to write down the reduced form of minus 2x plus 3y equals to 6. So whatever we have learned in the previous question is to write down the standard or the reduced form, we have to make the right side 0, right? And whatever that will be there on the right side, you have to remove it. So what we can do is we can subtract 6 from both the sides. So it will be minus 2x plus 3y minus 6 equals to 0. Now you need to check whether it is in the reduced form or not, whether you can take any number common out of it or not. So when we checked that there is nothing coming out to be a there is nothing coming out to be common, right? So what we can do here is we can simply write this is the standard form of an equation where A is coming out to be minus 2, B is coming out to be 3, or C is coming out to be minus 6, right? Or what you can do is to make it more specific, right? You can take minus common. As you can see that the first term is minus, right? Yeah, so it is looking like to be something odd. So what we can do apart from this one, we can take minus common. So it will be 2x minus 3y plus 6 equals to 0, right? So it will be 2x minus 3y plus 6 equals to 0, where A is coming out to be 2 now, B is coming out to be minus 3, and C is coming out to be 6. Both the answers will be correct, right? There is no issue with the same. But if there will be the MCQ question on the same, and they can confuse you by not giving these options, right? They will give you these options, right? So for that, you have to select this one. This will be the different working. You just need to perform one more step over there, and both the answers will be correct. Yes. I hope you enjoyed the class, right? So thank you so much for joining this session. Thank you so much for giving your precious time, right? And meet you very soon. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.